Should we go and say hello to a couple of callers?
Yeah.
Let's go and say hello to Luke. Hello, Luke.
Hi, Luke.
Hello.
Luke. Hello.
Hello.
What do you want to say,
All right,
Luke? What do you want to say, Luke?
Basically, I just want to put the onus back on Gerrard a bit. In his interviews, he
Right.
kind of pushes it onto the players a bit. He says, my forward players have got to be doing more and individual players need to do this. But we just look badly coached. We're really one-dimensional. And I think the individuality of the players is getting wiped out by that one-dimensional
But he just said in the interview, I'm guessing that the reason he phoned up is because you heard what he said. He was saying that he wants to give them the space to be the best version of themselves.
But the thing is, space is the issue. We're so slow in the build-up, and it's obviously a coached thing. We build up in a certain way, but we do it so slowly that there's 22 players in the opposing half by the time we get the ball up there, and then the strikers have got no room to do anything anyway. So it's all just, everything moves too slowly. And my worry is since, Michael Beale, his assistant, went off to QPR, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes.
When we got Gerrard, I spoke to a few Rangers fans, and they said, the real brains of the operation is Michael. And then in a few interviews for the club channels with the players, they all kind of mentioned, they were like, Michael runs the sessions, he comes up with the tactics. Stevie's the manager, obviously, but he's the man that runs it all. Right. And so now he's gone, I worry that does Stevie have the coaching ability to get us out of where we're at now?
Well, do you know what, Lou? It's an interesting point because QPR are flying right now. They're third, and they won on Friday evening, and they're doing very, very well. Only time will tell, Luke, how true that is. But no doubt about it, Michael Beale's doing a fab job at QPR right now, and maybe there is a loss of that relationship between Steven Gerrard and Michael Beale. But
I'm not making excuses as well.
We bought Critchley in, who's an amazing coach from Blackpool, didn't we? But we seem very one-dimensional, and I just worry a little bit that he doesn't have the ability to get us out of it. He's a good man manager, but
Jace, I'm not making excuses for him, right?
But because as soon as someone says that, you know exactly.
I'm not making excuses because Aston Villa do need to be in the top half of the table, challenging for things. But he got off to such a bad start because he pulls that Tyrone Mings in. And he decides you're not wanted, really. So
he didn't say... He
is, Jace. Once you take the captaincy off him, that lad's never...
He's still playing.
Yeah, but he's had to go back to him. So his centre-back is big signing of the summer. I think he's ruptured his Achilles. So he's out for the season. So he has to go back to Tyrone Mings and then ask him to play more or less and actually give everything he's got. Well, once you take the captaincy off someone... the relationship's never the same again. I'm not saying that's going forward. It's affecting the strikers, but he got off on the bad foot. And then I just said to Jason earlier, the flair players, are they producing the goods? All of them. Coutinho.
Well, they're not.
They're not.
It's as simple as...
I don't think they can because the way we coach, there's not enough space for them to do anything.
Well, it's no one stopping Coutinho getting in the box and bending one in the bottom corner or Buendia. No one's stopping them doing it.
They're not doing enough right now.
No.
There's no question of that. Buendia is a shadow of the player that we saw. Okay, listen, he hasn't... I have to say, I'm not quite... I felt there'd be a better version of Buendia in the Premier League because I saw a lot of him at Norwich. Was excellent. Just hasn't quite hit the straps the way that he did.
What would you say to him?
Well,
get him in the office now and tell him. What would you say to him?
Well, I mean, the way that the Buendia plays, he's one of those he's a flair player that you don't really want to restrict him too much, do you? You basically want to say to him, go and get in that space, go and create, go and give yourself, almost not give him a free roll. That's in the modern game, you can't do that. But almost saying those final third, pop up in little areas if you can.